So you've had a interesting year.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's been a fucking interesting last 12 months.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
So, like, what,
Being 20 is fun.
That's what it is. It's being 20?
It's just being 20,
It's just
man.
being 20 years old.
Yeah.
So this is gonna sound, I don't want this to sound weird, but what happened to make you like this? I'm kidding. No, but like what, because obviously before you started rapping, which is what you're doing now.
People think, though, like, by me, like, making music, I just, like, forgot about everything else. Like, I still make videos.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
But your main thing that you're doing now is rapping.
Yeah. Well,
that's like your main.
I would even
passion.
categorize it into rapping. I like to like make more alternative music too.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, like rapping's like mainly what I do. You know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun in it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. 1 second.
No, that's all right.
That's my Asian colleague. Yeah, he says he gotta pay me $100 for this interview. Yo, I'm in a very important meeting right now.
Okay, tell me when you're done, okay?
Okay, love you, Mom. Bye.
Oh no. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, so you like, yeah. Your main thing that you're doing is the rapping, right? And that started a year ago.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, I really have been making, like, the thing is, I've been making music ever since I was 13. I just never put anything out because I was not, like, confident enough. You know, my sister used to have a dance studio back in the day in San Diego, and next to that there was a recording studio. And I would take singing lessons originally. Like, I wasn't doing rap, I was doing singing, you know? Singing's always been a passion of mine ever since I can remember. But I just realized, like, in this day and age, you know, the type of music I listen to a lot is rap music. And I was like, why don't I just combine my passion for singing with, you know, making rap music? And that's just what I do, you know? People don't like me for that, they don't like me for that, but a lot of people are starting to like the music now, so it's good.
Well, I think the music people always like, because I didn't know, because I think the way that you started it out, at least putting out your music, was it felt like the first couple songs were like, and this is what most YouTubers do, more like joke songs.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I would say it was definitely more like just like screwing around type of songs, you know? But like over these past few months, like one of the reasons why you don't really like see me out like with a lot of people and stuff is because of me. I literally just isolate myself with me and my producer because, like, you know, I have a passion that I'm just chasing, and I just want to be the best at what I do eventually.
I think the biggest thing that a lot of people were surprised by was the physical change. Like, everyone was like, Nick's changing. Like, people literally go like, Nick's losing his mind.
Yeah.
Like, people say.
Everyone thinks, well, I mean, like, all I did, man, was dye my hair and braid it.
Yeah.
You know? And buy grills.
Yeah.
Like, but it's funny, though. It's funny. I laugh at those comments, you know?
Yeah.
I play onto that joke, too, you know? But nah,
because
man.
I don't, sorry to cut you off, I don't see it personally as you losing your mind. I kind of see it more as you, like, because you're 20 now. Like, I met you when you were 15. 16, still kind of like working out like who you are, and I think it was a gradual like incline to this point. I've kind of told everybody that. I'm like, well, Nick, the way that he was, at least like to me, was this like this guy that he is now. He was just more in a shell.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I've definitely broken out of my shell, and I've just kind of embraced, like, really not caring about what anybody thinks, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm, like, this is just, I don't know.
Just who you are.
Yeah. You explained it pretty well, you know? Like, it's just, like, I feel like this is the final stage of, like, what I'm about to do. And I feel like I'm going to do great things, you know, in the future.
Yeah.
And yeah, man.
So, what, this might be kind of, like, a weird question, too, but, you know, obviously, like, being smaller, right?
Yeah.
And I've correct me on this. Like, what is the correct verbiage? Is it?
Yeah. So
for it.
I mean,
for
like,
you, like, you know.
Well, like medically speaking, my condition's called Dwarfism.
Okay.
So, well, dwarf. I can never pronounce the W in dwarf, and then they all look at me like, "You fucking traitor." No, but no, it's dwarfism. So, like, you know, calling somebody a dwarf is like actually, you know, the correct term. A lot of people think the word midget is like what you should say, but midget's like a derogatory term. Midget was used like they used to perform experiments on little people like thousands of years ago, and they would call them like midget experiments.
So you find it to be like almost like it's just a derogatory slur.
Yeah. But like the other thing with me too is like you can't get offended about everything, you know? Someone's gonna use the word, they're gonna use the word, like, fuck it, man, you know?
Yeah.
Just like I don't care. But I'm just speaking on behalf of like other people who have my condition, you know? Because a lot of people may think like that's correct when in reality it's not. And like I said, I'm not too fond of like political correctness, you know what I mean? So like I don't really care if somebody calls me that or not.
Sure.
It used to bother me a lot.
Yeah.
Like back when I was like really young, like hearing that word like used to just make my blood boil, you know? But I kind of learned to like just like let it go, and I'm just like, you know what, not everyone has like education about this word, or people do, and they're just using it in a mean way. That's just on them, you know? Like, I'm not going to get mad over a word. Like, I don't like the word. I'll say I don't like the word, but it's not going to ruin my day, you know?
Yeah. If you don't feel like you're that thing, then just, like, if somebody says, like, calls you that, like, says, hey, like, midget, and you go, actually, no, my name's Nick.
Yeah,
Like, just say that, like, it's completely, like,
yeah.
you're just wrong. It's like that person's just wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, you didn't get it right. My name's actually Nick.
Yeah. All my life, people have been trying to, like, put me in a category. And, like, I knew just from a young age that, like, this is what I wanted to do, being an entertainer, you know?
But you wanted to be an entertainer. Like, did you more want to be famous or an entertainer? Those two different things.
Entertainer. It's just, like, the idea of fame at a young age was so cool to me, you know?
Sure.
But, like, I'm not going to say, like, we're famous now, because that's like an egotistical thing to say.
Yeah.
But like social media relevance speaking, like we are really up there, you know, compared to like the average Joe. So I definitely had to have my fair share of spotlight and attention, and you know, and it's really not all what it seems like. If anything, it's made me a lot more paranoid and given me a lot more anxiety, and it's just made me more depressed.
The social media?
Just everything.
What causes that for you? The social media and the. I mean, I have a few ideas of my own, but, like, what did you...
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, man, like, growing up, I was, like... I started on Vine, obviously, as you know.
And you utilized a lot of, like, the... You know, like, your height. Like, you utilized that in your comedy a lot.
Well, actually, the thing is, I didn't really utilize people have this mistaken notion that, like, I started off making videos about my dwarfism, but like I never even posted a full body video until I hit like 150K. You know, I made like maybe 4 vines about being a dwarf, and then like if somebody wanted to do a collab video, like that was probably the joke, you know.
Now that I'm thinking about it, you didn't make it about your height. Other people made it about your height.
Other people did.
It was people who collab with you that made it like, oh, like Nick's little person, so we're gonna make a joke about
and
little person.
I also had a lot of haters, like you know, like the one of the reasons why Vine died was because of the toxic community. You know,
I agree with that. Yeah.
And you know, there'd be like Viners who got big off of making fun of other people because they like couldn't make content of their own. I don't know why. So they would choose bigger Viners to rip on. And I'm not gonna name any names, but like there were a few Viners who like said really like horrible things about like my condition, you know. And I was just like, wow, like you guys are like in your 20s, like making fun of a 15-year-old with like a serious life condition for for clout. Like what? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it was so awkward. It was so not awkward. It was bizarre, you know. And like I was a 15-year-old kid, like suffering like a bunch of hate comments from those Viners who made fun of other Viners, and like. I was 15 looking at comments like, kill yourself, you worthless midget, you fucking disgusting creature.
Yeah.
I just, horrible things, man. Like, for a whole week, I would just check my comment section, and I was 15 years old, man, and I was just so depressed. I'm like, why is everyone, like, being mean to me? Like, I had never experienced bullying until social media. How crazy is that?
Yeah, that's
like,
nuts.
I've been blessed. Like, nobody bullied me in middle school, high school.
Me neither. That's the weird thing, too. I never got bullied. And then, like exactly what you're saying, you go online and you figure out things about yourself that, like, you never even thought were bad things. Like, they're like, hey, that little, like, freckle or that, like, wart or something that, like, you never even thought of. They're, like, make you feel like dog shit over the smallest fucking things. And I think that goes into the disassociation when you're commenting something to somebody. You can say literally
anything
unfiltered consciousness.
And you won't suffer any repercussions.
You won't.
Nothing.
That's the weird thing.
Yeah,
you can say whatever is on your mind without knowing maybe there's not a physical consequence to you, but you're causing somebody like yourself to feel like dog shit. But you don't feel that. Like, let's say that same person who commented, you worthless whatever to you, said that to your face, they would see a physical change in your face, be like, I'm now upset.
So true,
and then they would go, oh, fuck, I don't like the way that makes me feel, so I'm not going to, I will never say that ever again, and I feel bad about it. That's how you build, like, empathy, is by seeing other people's, like actual physical
reactions.
Reactions. Maybe that's not the only way to build, but it's a faction of it.
That's very true, yeah.
It's not the only way to build empathy, but I think it's one part of it. And because you don't get that on social media, you just get fucking, like, these kids that just are on this, like, crusade of hate that are just like, fuck Big Nick, all right, next person. All right, who's this fucking kid? Fuck you, you fucking next person. And they just are on it, like, setting a fire to, like, a cornfield of just, like, hate, just, like...
One thing I realize is, like, people like to channel, like, negative anger that they may have in their lives onto somebody else. I always realize that, like, it's very, like, it comes from, like, a psychological standpoint. Like, if you have anger, right, let's say, for example, like, people who bully other kids, right, like, let's say, like, school bullies, you know, usually you hear stories about, like, how their dad beats them or their mom, like, fucking slaps them and shit, you know, and that's why they're, like, so horrible to other kids. It's kind of the same with people who, like, are, like, making fun of other people online. Like, you know, a lot of people have stressful lives. A lot of people go through a lot of shit, you know? Like, this world isn't perfect. I get that. And I feel like a lot of people have, like, a lot of problems within their life, and I feel like maybe, like, I'm trying to put myself in a hateful person's shoes that is commenting something like, let's say I was going through, like, some horrible shit. I'm just in a bad mood, and I see someone, like, who's, like, just more successful than me, and their content doesn't appeal to me, or I just don't like them for some reason, right?
For whatever reason.
The easiest thing to do is to channel that anger, that everything you've been going on, you know, in the past week of your life. Yeah. And just be like, and I'm sure they feel some sort of release, you know? Yeah. It's definitely some sort of, like, tension release.
But it's probably so short-lived, and it's probably, actually, I don't even think it's a release. I think it is, it's just transferring what they feel onto another person, like you said, and I don't think it provides them any sort of relief. I think it makes them feel worse. But then, I mean, like, they already feel like dog shit, so it's like, well, like...
Just digging deeper.
Yeah, just digging deeper and deeper and deeper, and I do think that... I also think that some people, like, literally just like to fuck around and just be like, you're this fucking guy, and, like, I don't think they mean much by it, but I do think that there are people that come at it from a much more, like, vitriolic, like, fucking angry, just hateful, like, fuck this guy and fuck everything you represent. Like, you know, it's like... But to what end? Like, where are you trying to get with that? Like, what's the end goal for you?
Well, there is no end goal, you know? The end goal is hoping that the person notices that. You know? Yeah. It's also an attention seeker, in a way.
Yeah.
I've noticed people who have, like, spewed hate, and I'll reply, and then be like, oh my god, I didn't mean to say that, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Dude, yeah, I had a conversation, somebody was messaging me same shit, and I literally, because whenever I get a hate comment now, or anything, usually I ignore it because it's like there's nothing really to do about it. But there was one in particular that, like, really irked me, and I DM'd the person. I said, hey, like, you seem to not really like me that much, and that's fine, but, like, I don't, like, just explain it to me. Like, where does this, what exactly did I do? Where does this come from? Like, I want to know. Like, I'm genuinely curious. I'm not yelling at you or anything. And then they said back, like, very calmly and, like, articulate way, like, they were like, no, I didn't know, like, that you were even going to read that. And honestly, like, I actually do like your stuff. It's just, like, today I was having a bad day. Literally, that's what it was.
Wow.
And I boiled it down. I was like, that's it.
That's it, bro.
So many people are just in that moment having a shitty day, having a shitty time. And they give it to you. They spread it to you.
Yeah.
And
it's like we're, like, punching bags in a way, you know?
Yeah, but
people think because, like, you have a big following that, like, you're not human, you know?
Yeah.
But we're all human, man. You know what I mean?
But that doesn't mean that when they leave that comment, it doesn't mean that they're a shitty human being in, like, deep down in their soul. It just means that they're having a shitty day.
Shitty day, yeah.
And it's like, when he said that, I was like, dude, that, like, just blew the whole thing open to me. I was like, whenever I get a negative comment now, I'm just like, that person probably is having not a good day.
Not a good day, yeah.
And that sucks. And that's all I really got from it, was that I felt no, like, no more anger towards it. I mean, I still get angry at it sometimes, but I'm
The
more
thing
just
with
like
me-
annoyed.
The thing with me, bro, is like, well, here's what really happens, right? Like, I've been used to hate my whole life since I was 15. So from 15 to 17, it used to bother me. After I was 17, I was like, yo, why the fuck do I care, man? Like, how are these people, like, saying horrible things about me, helping me in any way? It's just negatively affecting my mood. So I literally told myself, like, the moment you really do stop caring is when, like, you're truly immune to anything in the world, right? Most people know me when I was, like, not even hit puberty yet.
Yeah.
You know? Like, everyone had to see my awkward stage in life. And if everyone had seen this side of me, like, years ago, it'd be different. People would be like, oh, it's just Nick.
Yeah, it's just Nick.
But, like,
But because you have your transformation on tape, people can.
Yeah.
I don't mean to say transformation,
No, I mean,
but you
like,
know what I mean. Like
no,
it's like you're
like a glow up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and like everyone gets to see that. You know, millions of people have seen that. Millions of people can make their own remarks and judgments. And
Is that so weird that like we both started when we were really young? Like I was 19. I looked
You still
fucking
look the same,
15.
though, yeah.
I looked like your age. Like when you started when you were 15.
yeah.
It's like 15. That's just so weird that my whole adolescence is documented in a way. At least physically. Maybe not my personal life. My personal life's not documented. I couldn't imagine being like a vlogger that started when you're like 13 up until you're 25. It must be batshit crazy.
Oh yeah,
Just to see in real time.
I don't think it's healthy.
I don't think it's healthy either, but just the actual idea of like a viewer being able to see this kid from when they're like 13 up until they're 25.
Yeah.
Like not only their physical change, but their actual like emotional, their emotional change, their like how they're maturing, all that shit. Like I just think that's so weird. But yeah, no, like you were the same way where you started as this like kind of like awkward kid who was making like vines and stuff, and then you grew up, and then now you're rapping
what I love,
yeah.
I just one thing about me, I never hurt nobody. I just stay in my own lane. I do what I love. People love it. They love it. They hate it. They hate it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Simple formula.
All right, man.
All right,
You
bro.
ready to go or?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Okay, man. Cool.